You say you want to tax the church. How exactly do you want to accomplish that?
Yeah, so here in Iqaluit, the churches enjoy a land tax exemption, and I plan on making a motion to remove that exemption.
It's like we're trying to pay for those sins. At the same time, the church today, we're doing well for the people.
The church is an example, right? So they should pay taxes.
I've always believed churches shouldn't be exempt from paying taxes, especially when you look at the amount of money that they've collected over generations.
Like, we're not for profit here. Our whole purpose is to give back to the community, so.
Lincoln J reporting for Rebel News here in the city of Iqaluit. Now, in today's report, we're going to be taking a dive into the details surrounding a bylaw that is being pushed forward here in the city of Iqaluit that is essentially going to remove churches from tax exemptions. The mayor of Iqaluit, Kenny Bell, stated that he was going to bring in a motion to make churches pay property taxes. The decision was announced just weeks after hundreds of unmarked graves were reportedly found in Saskatchewan at a former residential school. The bylaw is set to take effect next year. Those of you who don't know, ground-penetrating radar specialists have allegedly discovered unmarked graves of Indigenous children at former residential schools in Canada. And the churches being involved with these residential schools has put the Catholic Church on the receiving end of a lot of the blame for these past actions. The claims were not corroborated with further investigation, therefore lacking evidence, which led to a summer season of over 50 church attacks in Canada. There have been no bodies that have been excavated at any of these residential school sites to date. Mayor Kenny Bell stated this in relation to the bylaw.
To be fair, a lot of bishops, archbishops, and local clergy have apologized for the church's role. It's the Pope that we're still waiting to hear from. If your motion were to pass and you were to apply the taxation and the apology did come, would you then revert back to it? Like, do you want this to be a temporary measure until the apology is given, or is this a permanent change you think is required?
Yeah, no, I think at this point, the church has proven, I guess that, let's go with the Pope, right? They've proven that they're not going to apologize. The government of Canada has asked for an apology and it hasn't happened. Many Indigenous organizations have asked for an apology. It's not happening. I think we need to stand against this tyranny. They are the architects of genocide, and we need to make sure that this doesn't continue to happen.
The fact of the matter is, at the time of that recording, 2 previous popes had already apologized, and Pope Francis had began apologizing as early as 2015. What this means is that churches will now have to apply for complete or partial tax exemptions, and this process will be determined by the city's judgment on the financial need of the church and if any tax relief is granted. In an article from Global News, reportedly the city claims that this bylaw was, quote, not a bylaw specific to the church, end quote. With Iqaluit having a total population of only 7,500 people, Our Lady of the Assumption is the only Catholic church in the city. The pastor at this church, Father Daniel Parole, has reportedly said that, quote, it is unfair, it is kind of a revenge, a kind of game, end quote. Just really quickly, guys, before we get into the rest of the video, if you want to support my journalism here in Nunavut, you can consider making a donation through our website at rebelfieldreports.com to help out with my travel costs. Now, enjoy the rest of the video, guys. So today we're going to head out, speak with some of the locals here in Iqaluit, and see how they feel about this bylaw regarding churches and tax exemptions. Let's check it out.
Everybody needs to pay taxes. Church shouldn't be exempt. Even the church should pay more taxes, I think, because the church is an example, right? So they should pay taxes.
I'm not sure about that one. Taxes? Isn't it going too far?
Church should not pay for anything. We should pay.
Well, personally, especially the Catholic Church, they have more money than they'll ever need. So
I think the churches should be responsible for the taxes, and the churches alone, not their parishioners and anything. Like, it should be the church.
I honestly don't have a major opinion on that. I think everyone should pay taxes equally. So I would say, if I had to have an opinion, I would say, yeah. Why are you tax exempt?
And I know nothing about taxes. It's just like, I got nothing. I'm sorry. I've always believed churches shouldn't be exempt from paying taxes, especially when you look at the amount of money that they've collected over generations. So like, I'm for them having to pay taxes, because theoretically they give back to the community. What better way to do that than to pay the taxes that build the roads?
I'm a homeowner, and I think businesses, religious businesses, nonprofit businesses, I think they should pay property tax. The city of Iqaluit needs more revenue, and I honestly think that there should be some added revenue from those properties that for religions, whether it's a discount, they shouldn't be exempt. That's just my personal opinion. The city needs money, a tax revenue, and they shouldn't be exempt.
So now that we've heard from the locals, we're actually going to attend a church service at the only church in Iqaluit, Our Lady of the Assumption, where we're hopefully going to speak with some of the congregants there and see how they feel regarding this bylaw. Let's check it out.
I've been attending church here now in Iqaluit for approximately 5 years, and the reason why is my faith is very important to me. It's valuable, it's my life, and it centers and balances me. So that's why I love coming to church as much as possible.
I've been attending this church for almost 12 years, and regularly, like every week. And it's important for me just to be a part of, connected with my community, to worship God together and grow with my friends and extended family here.
What happened with the Indigenous people long ago, really not that long ago, it's like we're trying to pay for those sins. At the same time, the church today, we're doing well for the people, and even the elders, they spoke out that no, we don't want that, because it's going to have a ripple effect. If we had to start paying taxes, there's going to be less support for the good that we're trying to do today, and today is the very important thing we have to concentrate on.
Yeah, I've recently heard about this, and it makes me uncomfortable. I'd like the practice of taxing charities and churches. It should be consistent across the country, and I don't know if other jurisdictions do this. And like, we're not for profit here. Our whole purpose is to give back to the community. So, yeah, finances could be a tricky issue. So, I think it does seem unfair, but I just want to make sure that it's consistent with what's done everywhere else in the country.
Moving forward into reconciliation is actually, the Pope is here in Iqaluit, and there's steps that further need to be taken, I guess, in regard to compensation. The churches itself is actually being attacked worldwide. It's just not here, and the political arena is getting really mixed up in the religious side and aspects of things. So that creates a challenge. But moving forward, there still has to be more healing and reconciliation. And the Indigenous people are, they're the top priority in regard to this healing.
What would you say to people that think that the church is just like any other property, that they have to pay taxes? Because some people in town have said that. What is your response to that?
It's true, it is property like everywhere else. But I think the fact is that we're trying to make a difference in the community. It's like a charity. The church, and same with other religious institutions, and it's the parishioners still pay taxes. Everyone who comes here pays taxes through through the groceries, you name it, and also with their own property taxes. So it's an additional tax that's being put on the people who come here.
Just before we wrap this video up, there's one more stop that I want to make, and that is to City Hall to try and speak with the mayor himself. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, I was just wondering if Mayor Bell was around.
He's not.
Okay.
Are you here from Parliament?
No,
So we've just had a lot of people
I'm a journalist. I was just
Okay.
hoping to ask him a few questions.
Okay, if you want to set up a time rumor and get a communications person, and they can help
Yeah,
you.
my only problem is that I'm going back home tomorrow, so it looks like I might be out of luck with
Oh, you never know.
getting to him. Yeah.
Okay, just a second. I'm going to get Alexa. Can you pass me info, Alex?
Thank you. Well, as you guys just heard, unfortunately, Mayor Kenny Bell was not in today. I did receive his contact information, so I will be sending him an email to see if we can arrange some type of interview where I can ask him questions related to this bylaw. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. For Rebel News, I'm Lincoln J. Thanks for watching the report, guys. You can go to rebelfieldreports.com to check out all of my coverage from here in Nunavut. And if you appreciate the coverage, you can consider making a donation to help with my travel costs. Thanks, guys.